My student tried to get me fired because she didn't want to do her work. And when that didn't work, she accused me of ignoring her, so I decided to give her more attention than she could possibly handle. If you've ever had someone blame you for their own laziness, you're going to love where this goes. Before I get into it, hit that like button if you've ever dealt with entitlement so strong it makes you question reality. And subscribe for more stories where justice isn't just served, it's delivered with receipts. Now, let's dive in. The semester had barely started, and I was already hanging on by a thread. I'm a university instructor, the kind students usually describe as easygoing, fair, chill, sometimes even the professor who doesn't try to ruin your life. My policy is simple. Show up, do the work, turn things in more or less on time, and you're going to pass. Turn things in late, you lose a couple points. Don't turn them in at all. 0. I'm not out here hunting for ways to fail anyone. Unfortunately, the universe decided to start the year by slapping me with a personal crisis and a logistical nightmare. The department assigned me the wrong textbook, so the course was basically a building missing half its foundation. I had to adjust deadlines, rewrite assignments, and send apologetic emails left and right. To make sure no one got screwed over, I extended every early deadline and even added a 10%. Introductions. Assignment where all you had to do was say your name and something about yourself. Seriously, post "Hi, I like dogs," and boom, 110. Most students were understanding. A couple were anxious, but they worked with me. And then there was her. For privacy, let's call her Brittany. One afternoon, I got a text from the department admin. A student emailed us about your course. Please respond today. When admin says that, it usually means something like, I can't access the homework portal, or do I really need the textbook? But no. Brittany had written an entire essay to my boss explaining why I should be fired immediately. She claimed the class was disaster, that I was incompetent, and that students shouldn't have to suffer because the professor can't organize his life. I blinked at the screen. Fired. Overextended deadlines and an introduction post. Still, I responded kindly. I hit reply all, addressed her concerns point by point, apologized that the textbook issue had caused confusion, and reassured her that all students were being treated fairly. You'd think the embarrassment of being publicly polite checked would make her back off. She did not. She emailed the chair again. He forwarded it to me. I replied again, still kind, still professional, and added a line I thought might shut things down. You seem like a student who wants to do well. Tell me what deadline works best for you. And suddenly, she was stuck. Because Brittany didn't want a new deadline. She didn't want clarification. She didn't want help. She just didn't want to do her work. That's when her emails escalated into full-on spectacle. A new email came in, and this time the CC list included something new, a student services liaison. That's basically the university version of, I want to speak to the manager. She went on and on about how her grades were suffering, how everything was unfair, and how the university needs to intervene. She demanded that they replace me or offer her academic protections. She even implied she might have to drop the class if her suffering continued. Then she said the thing that set everything in motion. She claimed I wasn't grading her assignments, not giving feedback, just writing, good job, points off for late submission. I actually laughed out loud, because not only did I grade everything she turned in, she turned everything in late. So I opened her grade book and wrote the most polite, factual response of my life. Brittany, the only issue impacting your grades is the timing of your submissions. For example, the introductions assignment, which was 10% of your grade, required only a name and a fun fact. You submitted it 15 days late, resulting in a 5D10. Last week, you submitted another assignment 10 days after the extended deadline you requested. You earned 3.5. And then I added, you have an assignment due tonight. Please submit it on time. This assignment is one I always give substantive feedback on. I knew she'd seen the email because she turned in the assignment that same evening. Probably the first thing she submitted on time all semester. So I sat down, opened everyone's papers, and started giving real feedback. When I reached hers, my jaw actually dropped. Her paper was interesting, compelling. full of details I had genuinely never heard before. Suspiciously polished, suspiciously cohesive, suspiciously AI generated, not the bad kind, the good kind. The kind that reads like a professional summary someone typed into ChatGPT and then hit expand. But there was one major problem: nothing, and I mean Nouch ing, was verified. I took a deep breath and wrote the most beautifully savage academic feedback of my career. This is a compelling paper with information I did not previously know. It is also well written. Great job! I'm very happy that you are good at using AI. However, you have a lot of data that needs to be verified. Then I listed EIGHT examples of claims she needed to fact check. And then I followed the grading rubric exactly. -5 points for unverified data, -1 point for not double spacing. Final grade 4v10. The next morning, she sent me a novel-length email about how this was unfair, how she always gets top marks, and, my personal favorite, how she has a heart condition that prevents her from dealing with stressful grading practices. I responded instantly. I'm happy to meet with you during virtual or in-person office hours. The student services liaison is welcome to join us. I could practically feel her panic through the silence that followed. Because here's the thing, liaisons take academic integrity seriously, very seriously. If she pushed this into a meeting, they were going to look at that beautifully written, factually impossible paper and ask her some questions she would not want to answer. For almost 2 weeks, nothing. No emails, no complaints, no drama. She quietly turned in one assignment and attached a corrupted file. Not corrupted as in accidentally broken. Corrupted as in uploaded a blank file and hoped I wouldn't notice. I noticed. I emailed her. Your file did not open. Please resubmit. She didn't, so I entered the grade Zorba 5, and that's where the story fizzled out. No apology, no confrontation, no final tantrum. She simply stopped pushing. After all that noise, all those drama-filled emails, all that effort to get me fired, the moment she had to actually defend her work, she folded like a cheap lawn chair. And me, I felt something I hadn't felt all semester: peace. I didn't have to yell. I didn't have to punish her. I didn't have to seek revenge. I just did exactly what she said I wasn't doing. I paid attention to her work. I graded it fairly. I gave her detailed feedback. And in doing so, I handed her the shovel and she dug her own hole. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is letting someone talk themselves into a corner. Because when someone builds their entire identity around avoiding responsibility, reality becomes the one thing they can't outrun. If you enjoyed the story, hit that like button. It helps more than you know. Tell me in the comments, what's the most ridiculous entitlement you've ever witnessed? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories where justice finds the people who desperately try to dodge it. Until next time.